And now it's time for the new normal with Professor Know-It-All.
Well, Max, early Western culture might have died in the Dark Ages had it not been for the Church. After the fall of Rome, Christianity became the great unifying force all across the former empire. Throughout the Dark Ages, it was the Church which preserved ancient literature and writing. In fact, many ancient literary works were only saved through the diligent work of monks copying them by hand. The Church's provision of shelter, charity, and medical attention made it a central hub for culture of the community of these dark times. Through the Renaissance, the Church, along with Christian patrons, funded the arts and artists which have come to characterize the Renaissance itself. Later, the great composers like Mozart and Bach and others were frequently employed by the Church to compose music. Through the Age of Discovery, explorers were many times Church-backed and missions-focused as they attempted rather clumsily to spread the gospel. The Age of Discovery led to the establishment of America, a nation originally founded on Judeo-Christian ethics and Christian standards. The establishment of those godly ideals in America was soon to be affected by the European Age of Enlightenment. The Enlightenment philosophy suggested that man could know all things through reason and science, and that the mythology of religion was no longer needed. As this age swept Europe, it greatly diminished church influence on the culture there. Much of America's scholarly and intellectual community would be wooed away as well. Next, the Industrial Age swept the globe in America. Science had replaced God with reason. Now capitalism replaced purpose with power. The Christian standards America was founded upon took second place to capitalism and the opportunities to profit. The marginalized church had lost almost any remaining influence on the arts and culture, which was increasingly based on concepts of self-discovery and self-indulgence rather than ennobling mankind through the expression of higher truths. During the early 20th century, the spread of technology fueled by alcohol led to a proclivity of fun-seeking and hedonism, characterized in the Roaring '20s. America faced serious challenges during the Depression and World War II, but by the 1960s, culture had turned on the church and traditional morality, removing prayer from public schools. That's the starting point for the rampant decline of morality in America. Statistics in juvenile crime, substance abuse, pregnancy, and many others went into free fall, bringing us to our new normal. The new normal is a culture where music and arts are primarily driven by self and self-indulgence as well as profit motive. The new normal is also a culture which embraces and exalts the most superficial, making fame at any cost a virtue in and of itself. The new normal is a culture which rewards and exalts the most abhorrent, shocking, immoral, and profane. The new normal is a culture where Christianity is increasingly unwelcome as we see nativity scenes and the Ten Commandments forced out of public spaces, and Christmas holiday and Easter holiday replaced with winter and spring break. The new normal is a culture turned 180 degrees, a culture where the church that once saved culture is now seen as an object of mocking and scorn. Christians are viewed as ignorant radicals, intolerant, judgmental hypocrites, and liars. Christians are the butt of every joke. In our hyper-politically correct culture where every so-called alternative value and lifestyle demands inclusion, tolerance, and acceptance, it's open season on the church, Max. And that's the new normal.